yes.
And I realized that there was a business opportunity here.
Idea blossomed. Absolutely. Yes, yes.
And then from there, it morphed into a business opportunity, and I started the company. And
Mm.
then it started with France, then it went to Latin America, and then
Oh,
it went to other parts of Europe. Then the Chinese heard about it, and then I got a huge influx of Chinese and African countries and Saudi Arabia, and
yeah.
all those countries came together. So
Oh.
for 15 years, I was able to have a very successful business. I had about
Mhm.
43 employees at the
Yes.
time, and then COVID hit.
Oh, well.
And COVID changed all our lives.
Dreaded COVID. So, when did you get into local politics?
We had a developer that was looking to develop a parcel of land, and he wanted to put like 42 townhomes, make it private development. At that time in 1994, he
Mm.
wanted to start at $350,000 a year. I mean, sold these properties at $350,000. Well, that's a lot of money
Okay.
back
Yes.
then in the early
Yeah.
90s.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And but that's not only it. He wanted was to put a fence
Mm.
and make it a private gated community, but fence off other communities. I didn't think that
Oh,
was fair.
no, no.
I thought that you were setting a precedence where you have the haves and the have not.
Exactly
The
right.
community that he was fencing off was the lesser economically
Mm.
advantaged. It's a
Mm.
more disadvantaged community. And I
Yes.
was, no, the town was in uproar about it. They didn't want it, but people weren't having the conversation. They were having conversations and protesting, but when they got to my door, I felt that there was more that could be done.
Yes. Yes.
So I said, you guys just elected a new mayor. What is your mayor's stance? And they was like, well, we haven't talked to the mayor. I said, well, you need to call the mayor. And it was like, well, we haven't called the mayor. So I said, you just elected a mayor. We just elected a mayor. The mayor should have something to say.
Mm. Mm.
As naive as I was. So I picked up the phone, I called the mayor, I left a message. A week went by, the mayor didn't call me back. So knowing how Jamaican enough,
Yes.
I picked up the phone again and I was like, Mayor, I called you a week ago. We had a concern. You're supposed to be representing us, and it's over a week and you have not called back.
Hello.
Another day goes by, still now it's in my craw, as we would say.
Exactly.
Now I'm getting annoyed because I'm like, this mayor's not calling me back. So I picked up the phone again and I made a third phone call.
Mm.
The third phone call went in. At about 10 o'clock at night, I got a phone call and going, this is the mayor. It says, I was in Israel for the past 2 weeks. I got your message, but I wasn't here. It's not that I was trying to ignore. And then I went on in my little rant about why this and why this and da 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 da. And she says to me, who are you? And I told her my name, and she goes, so where do you live? I said, that's not important. You need to know I'm a constituent and you need to address this issue. So when are you going to do blah, 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 blah? What's your stand on the issue?
Yeah.
And she was like, you're the only person that has ever called and asked me this question directly.
Wow. Okay.
She said, yes, there's been a lot of chatter, but no one has called me to ask me what was my stand, what did I intend to do, and what was my plan around this issue. So I said, well, I'm asking you now then. Enough.
I know. That's always there.
That's always there. We're just direct. She said, no, she said, so where do you live? And I'm like, it's not important for you to know where I live. So she said, oh, da 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 da. So we talked for about an hour. And I said, okay, we'll talk some more in the morning. It's 11 o'clock. I got to go to bed, blah, 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 blah. 11:15, my doorbell ring. I'm like, who is ringing my doorbell at this ungodly hour of night?
Yes.
It was the mayor. He said, I searched and I found out where you live and I had to come see you and talk to you in person because nobody has ever spoken to me so direct.
Wow.
I didn't know I was direct. I just thought I was just, we were having a conversation. 2 o'clock in the morning, we're still sitting in my living room over coffee and we're still having discussion.
Wow.
So needless to say, I didn't go to work the next day because I was exhausted. we had our conversation, and we said we would follow up, and I kept on having more dialogues and everything else. And then one day she met with me and she says, we decided that we have a vacancy on the planning board. I'd like for you to take on that vacancy. And I was like, I know nothing about planning or anything like that. I'm not interested. She said, but you are the voice that we need on the planning board.
Truly.
Said, but you're interested in issues that affect our town. And the person that sits in the seat on the planning board will help to shape the direction of the town for the next 25 years. You say what goes in, what development happens, you are that voice. And you will help to shape the look and the feel of the town. And I thought about it somewhere, and I was like, you're gonna help to the issues that you're fighting for, this falls into that bucket.
Yes, yes.
And so I agreed to sit on the planning board. So I was the mayor's designated of planning board. And then that started that, and I'm still doing my classroom stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then there was, then I got a call from the Democratic Committee saying, hey, we want to talk to you. And I was like, me? And I was like, it was like, yeah, we just want to invite you to a meeting.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm game, I'll go to the meeting. So I went to the meeting and we had conversations and I listened. And then after that, they said to me, they invited me back a couple of times and they said, we have a vacancy on, and I was like, I know nothing about politics. I'm not interested in politics. I want no parts of it. It was like, we think that you would be great. And I was like, I don't know. And so it took a little bit of convincing, because as women, one of the things that we don't do, we always say, oh, it's not time. We got the kids, we have this, we have that. We find every excuse in the book. Meanwhile, a guy who is highly unqualified would say, yes, I can do it. And they stick their hand up and they're off to the races. And so reluctantly, I said yes. And then I came on to fill the unexpired term for someone.
Yes.
And that was back in 2000, and I've been here ever since.
Yes, that's it, right? So you are naturally a voice, for the people, because you're the one that was speaking up for those who had issues, right? So yeah, a natural fit for this position, right? So you went on to different commission seats as well, yeah. But so now as mayor, so you'll be mayor until the end of the year.
Correct.
What are your constituents? What are their greatest concerns right now today?
Ooh, I'm sitting in the middle of the very, very hot seat. Our town we're a small town.
Yes.
Approximately 15,000 population. We have one supermarket in town. The supermarket is leaving. The owners have gotten old. Their kids have no interest. And so they have decided to quit. With that said, we can't afford to become a food desert. So we need a supermarket immediately.
Yes.
One of the most important things that I have to work on now is getting a supermarket in town, and that will be good for all.
Indeed.
So I'm desperately pursuing a supermarket. So if anybody out there in your world here, anyone who's looking for a home for a supermarket, I'm interested. So we're trying to find a supermarket to replace the supermarket we have in town. And the next one is that we're doing rent leveling. So we're doing a reval. So we're reevaluating our home stock in our town. Okay. One of the tricky things is that people do not go out and do home revals because it is very expensive.
Okay.
And we want you normally wait until the state says you have to do one. We haven't done one in 38 years.
Ooh, okay.
So we need to evaluate our housing stock.
Yes. Yes.
And it costs approximately $1 million. And so until the state says you have to do it, we wait.
Yes.
But there's going to be some pros and some cons, because some people's value is going to go up. And if your value goes up, you might have increase in taxes. Some people value goes down.
Right. Yes.
So it's another hot button. So I like it hot. So we need a supermarket. We're doing our home revaluation. And we have 3 parcels that we're redeveloping at the same time.
So your plate is full, very full. Right? I
Yes.
mean, you're a mom, you're still involved in the school. I mean, and all of this as well.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. We have a lot going on.
Yeah. So, okay, one last question. We have about 5 minutes left. How do you personally stay balanced? I mean, you're running the city. You're probably, balancing the city's finances as well, and all these issues that you have to deal with for your constituents. And you're a mother. How do you balance?
You know, as you say, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. I have 3 things: God first, family, community.
Yes.
If you don't put God first, and I'm not out there a Bible thumper.
Yes, I understand. Yes.
That where I get my center is having a healthy relationship with God. I do morning devotion, which I share on Facebook.
Right.
I keep God at the forefront. I ask him for advice before I make decisions, because I want to make decisions that are not just good for me, but it's good for the entire town. And if it's good for the entire town and the community, it's going to be good for my county, it's going to be good for my state, it's going to be good for my country.
Indeed, yes.
So if you have a balanced focus, that is, for me, that works. Yes. I also do a yoga practice every morning.
Oh, you're like me.
Yes. And I go to the gym. I'm in the gym 4 or 5 times a week.
You're like me.
You got to stay healthy, mind, body, and soul.
Truly.
Mind, body, and soul. So those are the things that when the wind is blowing and the people are screaming and the chaos is happening, you're hearing those voices. But most importantly, you need to have inner peace.
True.
And if you have that inner peace, then you can put things in boxes where they need to be, and you can deal with them appropriately. And you're not just relying on what I know. You're consulting with others, but there's a higher power that you're working with as well. And he's settling you within yourself.
Indeed.
And I think that's what works for me.
Yeah, well said. And you sound like you live in the present all the time, right. Which is what you have to do. Yeah,
you have to.
Indeed.
To thy own self be true. You have to be true to yourself. And you have to make tough decisions. And you have to make unpopular decisions, but you must do them.
Yes.
I do not like to political speak with people. I like to keep it, because I think when you're honest and you're truthful with folks and you're saying what it is, they respect that more than you trying to political speak around the issue. And that, you just be direct. And people live in a direct world. They make direct circumstances in their homes and they make choices. And if you treat them in that same vein, most of the time, everything will work out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? I lied. That wasn't the last question.
Not true.
At the end of this year, will you run?
Yes.
Again.
Yes, I am.
Wonderful.
Yes, I am.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yes, definitely. I have more work to do. God's given me strength and grace, and I have more work to do. I think I have a lot to contribute, and I have a lot of experience and skills to move it forward. Oh,
wonderful. That is a perfect note to end on. And you know what? I am going to be following you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Indeed. I really do. So we need to stay connected.
Yes, we do. You say you're on Facebook as well. I'm going to look for you.
Yes, definitely.
Well,
I'll look for you so we can like.
Yes, indeed. Well, Mayor _Mayor Foster, thank you so much again for your time. And, I wish you all the best. And hey, just as you say, keep being yourself and keep being centered.
Absolutely, to thy own self be true.
Indeed. All right.
Thank you.
You take care. Have a lovely rest of the day.
You too. God bless. Bless up.
Bless up all the time. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.